Hi, welcome back to another edition of Free Exchange of Ideas. So, first off, I want to apologize about Monday and Tuesday. It just got really hectic here. I have three, four reports that I had to get done. You don't really care, and that's fine. Um, but it got really hectic here, and I couldn't get to do the thing that I wanted to do, which was this. So, I have two things for you today. One is Gavin Newsom, because, well, he's my petard now. I'm going to foist myself on him. Um, and I'll tell you about the other one afterward. So Governor Gavin Newsom is in China now. China. I don't know for certain. I don't have any, you know, feed from anybody that tells me this. However, watching the news, watching President Biden, and not seeing Kamala Harris do anything, I'm going to say President Biden is out of office before Christmas. He won't finish the run. And Kamala Harris will indicate that she won't run because God knows nobody wants her. She's almost as bad as Newsom. She's just too stupid to be that bad. And you know what? That irks me because she's not a stupid person. She is obviously well educated. She has proven herself in courtrooms on multiple occasions. So she's not stupid, which is the thing that really pisses me off. But I just don't understand her. I don't. She's just too giddy to be vice president. I don't think she would survive as president. And that's on my screen. I thought it was on my shoulder. Okay. So anyway, um, so back to Gavin Newsom and China. Before China, he went to Israel. Why would he go to Israel? We have no agreements with Israel. Uh, None of the aerospace industry here in California has direct cause or effects with Israel. Uh, why would he go to Israel while President Biden is there? Because he has to get his own uh, foreign intelligence bona fides. He has to make noise in other theaters so that people realize, hey, this guy might actually know something about foreign policy. He doesn't, but that's how you make it look like you do. So he went to Israel. He spoke at, I guess he spoke at a synagogue or something. He spoke there at any rate. I haven't heard the speech. I don't care to hear his speech because I know what he has to say and he's all full of crap. Um, Now he's in China, like I said. And why would he go to China? While the state of California does have multiple ties with China, uh, Governor Gavin Newsom has his own personal ties with China, and he's not worthy of California's governorship, let alone the presidency, because of those ties to China, in my opinion. If I'm wrong, don't hesitate to tell me. I will spam the shit out of you. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that. I don't know how to do that very well. So, at any rate, but if you disagree, put a comment down there. I'll argue with you. I don't mind. He's in China. He's meeting with Ping or Xi Jinping. I don't know how you pronounce which way his name goes for sure. But he's with him, and he's with the foreign minister, and I believe he's with an economic minister as well. Uh, he's trying to make his bones. I don't think China is a good partner to make bones with, at least not for the United States, and certainly not right now. That being said, let him do his thing. I don't know how to. I certainly can't stop him. His team can't stop him, and he thinks he's doing the right thing. I don't believe he is. I believe he's showing you his true colors by going to China on his own, probably with the party's backing. I'm thinking because he's like I said, he's got to make his own bona fides, right? And he'll try to make deals with China for California, and say, if when I make president, I'll make these deals with you, and we'll stop fighting over Taiwan and the Philippines and all that stuff. In the meantime, you might want to just kind of settle down a little bit, see if we can get out of this. Then I'll be president. Then we'll be fine. That's my thought process. Biden drops out before Christmas, and he jumps into the fray. He thinks he's bulletproof. He's not even remotely bulletproof. I've already proven that multiple times. Um, but he's going to try, and I think he has. I'm certain he's been told he has a really good shot at beating whoever it is, especially if it's Trump. He'll want to beat Trump badly, um, and so that's going to be a big thing. I think that's going to be an important part of what happens. Um, if he doesn't run this year, he will definitely run in 28 because there won't be anybody to stop him in 28. I think if Biden stays, he'll take the seat, or Trump will. I I I don't have a real good gauge to tell me which way it's going. It's looking like it's moving toward Trump, but I I don't know if Biden comes up with some, Hail Mary and makes big noise, it could easily swing back, at least as far as Democrat versus Republican goes. Nobody in the Republican Party has a shot at this. Speaking of the Republican Party, let's just move on to that. When Speaker McCarthy was ousted as Speaker of the House, I was disappointed, at least. Yeah, McCarthy made some bad moves. He evidently lied to the body and uh, and made deals with Democrats, and that obviously pissed off Gates and his little 5 to 8 person quorum. Um, Gates doesn't have enough juice to run, which is why he won't run. He's made it perfectly clear, I don't want to run. I'm not going to be the speaker. I don't want to be the speaker. Blah blah blah. But it's because he doesn't have enough juice with the rest of the party. His 5 to 8 member coalition is going to screw the party. They have been screwing the party since, since before McCarthy became speaker. He wants to be super hardline, and we can't be super hardline. There's reasons for that. However, we can, I say we, I just mean as conservatives. I think Matt Gaetz is a conservative. However, who's working with the Democrats now? Matt Gaetz and his group. Why do I say that? Because they had to talk a couple of the Democrats into coming over to their side to force McCarthy out, and then to force a non-binding. I'm sorry, to force a negative vote on whoever ran over the last couple of times. I was really surprised that Jordan didn't get the speakership, to be perfectly honest. I really thought he's a good dude. He's not middle of the road. He's a little more to the right, but willing to make good deals. And I was really surprised. It really, really surprised me that he did not get that, because I think Jordan is a very good. I think he would make a very good speaker. They just did it. A new guy out of Missouri. He's their new quote unquote guy they're going to vote for. I don't think they'll vote for him. And I'll tell you why. Because if they vote for him, they lose all their power. Because their power right now is in the fact that they can stop any leadership movement. They can stop any um, panel movement. They can do anything because all they have to do is be negative. And it's easy to be negative when you're just pissing all over everything, which is what they're doing. And it irks me no end. If you want to start your own party, start your own party. Fucking become an actual Tea Party. Become an actual positive Republican Party. Join the Constitution Party. Then you got all your infrastructure is already built out, and all you got to do is add it. It's not rocket surgery, but you don't have the balls to do that, do you, Matt? I bet you don't. You don't have the balls because you don't have the power. There isn't enough power in 8 people. And while the Constitution Party would kill to have you, because you all have name recognition especially in your districts, but most of you in the party, you're not going to lose your job when it comes in 2 years and you got to come up for a vote. You probably won't lose your job, not for changing to party, especially if you go to like a Constitution Party or a harder right party. But you got to learn compromise, dude. You have to learn compromise. Yeah, you say you've been compromising since you got in there, and you probably have, but don't sacrifice the party for your morals. It's not even really morals. I know it's not morals because he's a politician, but they're trying to make a hard right to battle the hard left, I guess, or because the left is becoming further and further left as a group. That's one of the things that you see in that party. There is cohesion in the Democrat Party. They all see the same thing. They all want to go to the same place. They don't all agree on how to get there, but they all know the end game. And the Republicans don't have an end game right now, and that's their biggest problem. They don't have an end game. And when you don't have an end game, you can't move forward. There's no way to move forward because people all have their own different ideas and they don't always mesh. And that's the problem. I say start your own party, you know, put your dick on the line and see how it goes. Because then both parties have to beg you to create a coalition. And that's where your power comes from. Can't really do it with 5 to 8 people, but you can do it with 15 to 20. You can do it with 15 to 20, and I'm sure you could get 15 to 20 to come over to your party. And when you get there, then you have to create coalitions. And that's where power lies, at least in the House and Senate. When you have your coalitions running well, all on the same page, that's where your power lies. I don't care about power. I don't. What I care about is getting the job done. They're coming up against another hard deadline with the sorry, I've forgotten what the name of that is, where they have to cut, to fund the government. They're coming up against a hard deadline in about a week, I believe, where they have to get their shit together and vote for a thing, vote for a bill to fund the rest of the, I'm guessing the rest of the month, because they won't have any way to do anything else. There was an idea floated to make the Speaker pro tem semi-permanent till January, December or January. I think it was the end of December, beginning of January. And that sounded like a great idea. At least you could get some work done while you're working on this other issue. And maybe people would start seeing progress on both sides of the ball and find a way to get together. I don't see that happening now. They're not making any effort to, they're not even making an effort to compromise within their own party. They're making no effort. And the Democrats are sitting across the aisle just laughing their asses off. I don't blame them. I would be too if I was in their seats. Because their seats are rock solid. The ones that's closest to getting the seat, the speaker seat right now, is the Indian guy from the Democrats. Because he already has 212, 200, I think it's less than 212. Because I think you only need 212 to get the seat. But he has less than 212 in his own party. And they'll vote for him. Because Nancy Pelosi loves him, I guess. So, what I would like to say to the Republican Party is get off your ass, pick somebody that all of you can like overall, and get the hell out of the way. Get some work done. The one thing you want to focus on, the one or two, three things you want to focus on, border, right? Border security. We all know that. You all want that. We get that. You also want to focus on the budget, just in general, the budget. And then you want to focus on single subject bills. If you want to pass a bill, it has to be single subject bill. That's something you have to pass. You have to make that happen. But you can't make that happen if you can't even get a fucking speaker. I'm not going to give myself a heart attack today, but this is one of the things that really irks me. Because Matt is just standing on a stone to make noise, to get press. Good or bad, doesn't matter. All press is good. And he's not thinking about his party anymore. He's not thinking about the party, and that's the problem. Because I think a couple of those people that are in his coalition have already kind of bailed. I think 2 of them voted for Jordan, which I thought, oh, okay, we're going to go. No. The new guy that's up from Missouri, as of this morning, he already had 10 negative votes, so he's probably out. 10 Republican negative votes, so he's probably already out. And we're running out of time. Time is our enemy now, and they don't recognize it. Once time becomes your enemy, and you end up with your back against the wall, you have to give compromises you didn't have to give a week ago. You could have just made the point and voted in Jordan, who would have been a good speaker. But you didn't want to do that. Did you not want to do that because you didn't want to take him away from his judiciary job? That's a possibility. I don't know. They're not saying why. Of course they're not going to say why. But Jordan would have made a good speaker. He's a good leader. There's no doubt in my mind he's a good leader. All that being said, honestly, I think they've got 3 days to get their shit together, and then they're out. They're done. Hakeem Jeffries will take over as Speaker of the House because enough of the Republicans will go, fuck it, we're done. Let's just give it to them, and then we are thoroughly screwed. Thank you very much, Mr. Gates. Get off your ass. Do your job. Work on the little things later. Work on the big thing now. That's the important thing. Learn how to compromise even a little bit, and you'll go very, very far in this business. You've already gone pretty much as far as you can get to. You're in DC. That is the seat of everything in the United States. So that's all I've got to say about that because if I speak any longer, I'm going to just throw a string of curses out there and YouTube will shut me down. Thankfully, they haven't done that yet. That's a surprise, to be honest. All right, so remember, even fluffy bunnies have teeth and claws for a reason. Live long, fight hard, win the day. See ya.